I'm not going to be sharing common advice you've already heard 1,000 times. You'll have to defy some conventional wisdom, but you've worked hard to get to where you are. These 5 things will make sure your hard work and sacrifice do not go to waste. This first one might be a bit controversial, but I think it needs to be said. Sometimes it feels like we get punished for our success. For example, because my husband's job is less flexible and I'm further ahead in my career, I would have to sacrifice more of my career for us to raise kids. But I'm not willing to accept that. I don't believe anyone should have to compromise on their dreams like that. That's why one of the best decisions I've ever made was to freeze my eggs. Despite what society and my parents-in-law try to tell me, I don't believe your 30s have to be the time to have kids. But now that my biological clock is not a limiting factor anymore, we can wait until our 40s, when my husband's career is more settled and raising kids would be more of a true partnership. It's not just children either. In my opinion, when you have to be responsible for more things as well, you have less freedom and fewer choices. But your 30s is when you can benefit the most from less responsibility. For many people, it's when your career is finally starting to come together. Whether it's because your hard work is paying off or you're finally clear on what you actually want to do, now you have the experience and resources to go all in. But if you spend that energy buying a house or keeping up with the Joneses, you've potentially wasted a huge opportunity. That's why number 2 is lack of responsibility. I am happy to pay rent so I don't have to own a home. We even avoided buying a car until very recently when we just couldn't get around it for Steven's work anymore. This way, we can easily move or go anywhere if there's an opportunity. Plus, I have more money, time, and energy to invest in growing my businesses, which is the most fun thing in the world to me. But that doesn't mean I'm saying to be uber frugal in your 30s either. In fact, I think your 30s are the time to enjoy extra spending, but intentionally, to figure out what you like and who you are now that you have 3 decades under your belt, and ideally, a bit more money too. This is the time to learn what you like and who you are when you don't have to worry as much about money. I am not saying to run up a credit card bill you can't pay, but within reason. What brands do you like? What's your style? What's your favorite jewelry? How do you like to travel? How do you want to decorate your home? I consider this one of the best investments you can make, because through doing this, you'll learn a lot about yourself, plus have a lot of fun too. But it's not just about fun. Your 30s can also determine how good or bad your next 30 years will look, literally. What's that saying? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. I believe your 30s are the time for that ounce. For me, that means working out with a trainer at least twice a week. Monthly facials, because my skin is finicky. A great humidifier, tons of moisturizer, and healthy pre-made meals 5 days a week. Whatever makes sense for you, take care of yourself. In 30 years, when you watch my best purchases to make in your 60s video, you'll thank me. High five to that. But it's not just about you in your 30s either. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but I'm actually going into my 8th year of marriage. If you're like me, you might have been with your partner for a while now. Even if not, I'll get to that in just a bit. But first, that's a decent amount of time. Through growing my business, I have grown a lot. But my partner has a more traditional job, so he's grown in different ways. Some of my best purchases have been purchases for him that he would not have made himself. On the more serious side, I've purchased classes for us to learn together. On the lighter but just as important side, I bought him a stylist makeover, including a brand new wardrobe. I wanted him to look as good as me, because this guy has been wearing the same clothes since high school. I think doing this is important to make sure you grow together in the ways that matter. But even if that doesn't apply to you, that goes for friends and family too. They're just as important. But it starts with you and having the freedom, flexibility, and finances to make these purchases. I believe anyone, at least if you want to, can build a freedom business that can change your life and give you these options. This is about making the most and working the least. Plus, I believe it's the most fulfilling business model to use too. That's why I break down how I built a 7-figure freedom business in this video. It'll show you the most fulfilling business model to use while making the most and working the least. I'll see you in that video.